And we're back. And we just finished watching Shang Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, currently streaming on Disney Plus. Not sure if it's still in the theaters, but it premiered tonight on Disney Plus. We're going to probably put this up next week because it's late and I don't have the bandwidth to edit another film. This movie is rated PG-13, clocks in at 2 hours and 12 minutes. Was released earlier this year, but thank you Disney for, I guess, Disney Day and releasing it on the streaming service today.
Yeah, we couldn't see it because...
Yeah, COVID, and we're not really interested in going back to the theaters anytime soon. This movie was directed by Destin Daniel Cretton and with screenwriting credits to Destin Daniel, Dave Callaham, and Andrew Lanham. I'm going to go around the table and get impressions. Gigi, what did you think?
I liked this movie.
Why'd you like it?
It was cool.
It was very cool looking. Did you have a favorite character?
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi was awesome.
I almost lost all my respect for him, but when he said that he didn't do something, that I thought he should have, and then he tells his friend that he did end up doing it.
Oh, I was like, what is she talking about?
I don't want to give spoilers.
Okay.
Yes, no spoilers.
No?
No spoilers.
Came out this year.
Came out a while?
It came out fairly recently. We're not giving away any spoilers. There's not really much to give away as far as spoilers go. I mean, it's not like as though you don't know that Tony Leung is his dad. That's right in the commercial.
Right. Constantly being advertised.
There's scenes with crazy monsters and amazing kung fu and fighting on scaffolding. We've seen
scaffolding.
We've seen all that. We're just not going to give away any plot details.
What did you think?
I liked it. I thought it was good. Don't know where in the ranking of Marvel films it is. Probably somewhere in the middle. It wasn't like. I would probably say that Marvel's best stuff was the Captain America films.
Absolutely.
As far as a single character, it was a good intro. A good intro to Shang-Chi, who is a character that not many people probably really know about. I mean, he's not a top tier Marvel character. He's probably like a D-lister.
Haha.
No, it's true. I mean, you don't really see tons of Shang-Chi comic books out there. Shang-Chi. You don't see a ton of them. He had a problematic origin, considering that originally his dad was Fu Manchu, which was some terrible ethnic stereotype.
Of course. Well, it was the 60s, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Nobody was PC back in the day.
Nobody was PC, yeah. But this was, it was good.
Do you have a favorite character?
Either the Shang-Chi or his sister.
Oh, yeah, his sister was cool.
His sister was very cool. No Katie? No love for Katie?
Katie was all right, but she was pretty much like
filler comedy
almost
relief.
like comedy relief, yeah. But not,
I wouldn't say almost. She was comedy relief.
she was the comedy relief played by
Don't you mean Awkwafina?
Yes, but her character's name was Katie.
But her character's name was Katie.
It's Awkwafina in my book.
Okay, it could be Awkwafina. She's making the rounds. She's in a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
a lot of stuff.
This is like our second Disney foray. First was Raya, and now this. Yeah. So she's cashing them Disney checks.
Yeah, good for her.
I'm sure that's lucrative.
Yeah, I mean, Disney is the gift that keeps on giving, right?
And she'll probably be in the next one.
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah.
And there's also little cross promotion. We saw a couple of other. Can we spoil that or no?
Yeah, all the other Marvel characters make an appearance. I mean, this was also in the commercial, like Wong from Doctor Strange and the Abomination,
which is coming next year, right? The Sam Raimi one.
I think so. I think I heard that they're doing reshoots on it right now.
Also, he was in that thingy that his sister was holding, that fight thingy.
The fight thingy his sister was holding. You mean the tournament?
Yeah, the tournament.
Or it was like a bar. It was like a fighting tournament thing.
Fight club.
What did that have to do with that? That's where Wong and the Abomination showed up.
Yeah.
They were like putting on like it was
like a wrestling match.
It was like wrestling because they were like they were in
fix.
cahoots with each other, and there was oh no, that's a spoiler.
Is it?
But anyway, yes.
It's not enough of a spoiler to spoil the film.
It's not enough of a spoiler to spoil the film.
Did you have a favorite scene?
I liked the fighting. I thought the fight choreography was very nice.
The fight choreography on this was really, really good. I was really impressed with it.
The reason why I would probably say this is sort of like a middle-of-the-road Marvel thing is because I liked Shang-Chi, but he wasn't as, I would say, charismatic as other Marvel heroes or the leading Marvel, the lead actors and other Marvel heroes. Nothing against Simu Liu. But I don't know. He had some charm to him, but it was almost like he didn't really pop from the other characters.
Okay, that's
You know what
fair.
I mean?
That's fair.
And
I
I'm used to like in Captain America, you
right. Steve is very
by the end of that first
Tony
film,
is
you
very
love
dynamic.
Steve, and you're like you're sad when he goes down. That scene with him and
Haley
Atwell over the mics, over the communication system. That's sad.
Right.
It's genuinely a sad thing. And I mean, Robert Downey Jr.
Amazing.
It was
amazing.
just tons of charisma there. Chris Hemsworth
really came into his own.
Yeah.
I mean,
Paul Rudd.
Sexiest man alive.
Sexiest man alive.
What is wrong with you, Mom?
It's official now.
It's official now. People has declared Paul Rudd the sexiest man alive. Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
It's not.
Even
He's
like
the
even
ugliest
Benedict
man alive.
Cumberbatch.
He's not the ugliest, but he's not the sexiest.
Chadwick Boseman. They're the very strong, very charismatic leads who really stand out. I mean, not to say that the people that were surrounding them weren't bad or were bad or lesser actors or anything, but you knew that that's the guy. That's the guy I'm supposed to be paying attention to. And in Shang-Chi, there was him, there was Awkwafina, there was the sister, who I feel bad that I don't know her name. I can't remember what her name was. I don't know.
It was
Xialing. Right.
Xialing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was more of, I would say probably, it felt more like an ensemble movie than a film
that
where
I would agree
where,
with. And
where
I
Shang-Chi was the headliner. Because
Right.
very rarely was he by himself.
No.
I don't think there was any scenes where he was just by himself,
no.
aside from when he was waking up in the morning.
Right. And like, besides him, Awkwafina had a lot of screen time.
Yeah, and she was always with him.
Yeah, she was always with him.
Pretty much literally always with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like she even demanded, I'm going with you
With
in
you,
Macau.
right. Yeah.
So I think that sort of muted him.
And his story. I could see that. I think he also, another hindrance was that he wasn't part of like a previous introduction. Like when they introduced Spider-Man, it was in Civil War.
Yeah.
So you knew him. Same thing with Black Panther. He's introduced in Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier. No,
Right.
not Winter Soldier. Civil War.
Civil War?
Both were introduced in Civil War.
Right, because that's when his father gets killed. Okay, right. So I think you have the benefit of knowing this character before, or those characters at least, and not here.
I wouldn't say that was necessary, because there have been plenty of characters where you weren't introduced. It's just that I feel that they should have put more of a spotlight on Shang-Chi on his own. And let's see what this guy could really do. Let's see his personality and showcased outside of other personalities, And for me, that was like a bit of a weak point to this movie.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, it was otherwise, everybody did a great job. Everybody was like worked well against each other.
Yeah.
The
interplay between the actors was really,
the interplay
really
between
good.
the actors was good. I didn't feel any sort of awkwardness between him and Awkwafina. The relationship between him and his sister was well defined.
Yeah. Even with the father.
Even with the father, Tony Leung was great. Yeah, even Michelle Yeoh, she didn't have much of a part, but she nailed it. Was very strong.
Yeah,
everybody's performance was great.
Yeah, you know what? Now that you mention it, I do agree with you. I think one of my favorite scenes is the bus scene, which you see in the trailer.
Yeah, where you get to see
this
guy.
This
guy.
him.
There's something special about this guy. He's beating the crap
out of people. Yeah, and it would have been interesting to see more of him. I agree with you. I think it was almost like they didn't trust him to carry the film, so they gave him all this filler stuff, and it wasn't bad, but it was just
I don't even know about that. It's I just feel like the way it was written, it was just written as like I don't know, maybe you're right. It just I would have liked this.
I'm sure that I
would have liked to have seen more.
But I think that maybe they added components to sort of ramp up the rest of the production, only because it's like, I mean, where did this guy come from? You know what I mean? Like, as an actor, Simu Liu. I mean, he was like on this Canadian like show, and that's where he was sort of popular, and all of a sudden he's part of this big pop cultural thing that has a very niche audience. And not even niche, because I don't think you have to be a Marvel fan to like appreciate Marvel movies.
Yeah, you cannot say Marvel films are a niche audience.
No, you're right.
A niche. Kim's Convenience Store was a niche audience.
Sure.
Marvel films
are pretty universal, yeah.
They're mega blockbusters that people go to see who have never read a comic book in their lives.
Right. Or, yeah.
Yeah, people who have no interest in comic books or the source material go to see Marvel films because they're just fun. They're just entertaining.
Right. Olive G, what did you think of this movie? Did you have a favorite scene? Did you have a favorite character in this movie?
My favorite character,
was it Katy?
No, Shang Chi's sister.
You like Shang Chi's sister? She was pretty awesome.
Yeah, she was cool. She was just kicking people's butts.
Yeah. I like seeing ladies kick butt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I also like the scene with the dragon.
The dragon was pretty cool. The effects on this, I mean, obviously Disney doesn't skimp out on their productions. But, yeah. I mean, it's funny. I was watching this movie and I kept thinking, like, even the trailer for this movie was very exciting. Like, I was super excited for this movie to come out. I mean, I knew I wasn't going to go see it in the theater.
Yeah.
Because we still have a lot of silliness going around. But I think I still was, like, just really excited to see it tonight. And, like, I don't have that feeling with Eternals.
The trailers for Eternals have not wowed me at all. I think they're going for a sort of, like... prestige grandeur sort of.
Prestige yourself, Morty.
One of my favorite lines ever.
Like, it's like that slow. Oh my God! Look at what I'm seeing. I think they're going for like more of like a Dune vibe to it.
Oh my God! It's so funny that you said that. I was just thinking the same thing.
And that's not what I normally expect from Marvel. I'm expecting the trailer to have like, wow! Oh my God! Holy crap! Look at that!
Yeah.
Oh, charming line, catchphrase, you know, and
rap music, whatever.
Something going on like that, and meanwhile Eternals is just sort of like, oh look, there's a ship coming out in slow motion, and oh they're moving slowly, and
did they ever onboard a ship in the Eternals?
I don't know. You know what? Maybe it's like the new is a spaceship coming out of something in slow motion. The slow ramp. The ramp came down too fast.
So I enjoyed this movie. I think the production values on it were hella beautiful. I mean, it's nice to have that Disney cash flow in your corner. They certainly did not skimp. The script was good. I felt like, what was his name? Death Dealer?
I felt Death Dealer got shortchanged.
Yeah. I was
he
hoping
looked so
to
cool
see,
in the trailer, and
so
he does.
With that.
Yeah, I was like, I was hoping to see more of this guy, just like come in like a.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was only seen in 2 parts. The part where
All right,
you
don't
know
give
why,
any spoilers away.
No
and
spoilers.
also the part where he was fighting Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
you see in the trailer.
I would have liked to have seen a lot more
of him.
of the sort of like you could see there's like Shang-Chi has some serious animosity towards Death Dealer because he was just beating on him as a kid. And you don't really get a lot of that. There's no real comeuppance to that sort of relationship, and I felt like that could have been used to really
more,
highlight Shang-Chi's personality. And maybe you could see that a little because there's like at the end of their fight in Macau, there's a part where Shang-Chi, I guess, is victorious or whatever, and he's going to do something, and it's sort of like I guess that sort of shows what he's capable of, and that sort of leads to something else in the story.
I love the way we're tap dancing around this. I'm going to spoil it.
It's
I'm
fun.
going to spoil
Don't
it.
you spoil anything. It's unnecessary to spoil what's going on. And I just feel like Death Dealer could have had a bit more of a prominent role. Like I think they gave more prominence to Razor Fist there.
Yeah.
He's there through the whole movie, and he got his own car with his name on it.
Which was
The Razor Fist mobile.
Yeah. I really enjoyed seeing Sir Ben Kingsley reprise his role.
Yeah,
as Trevor.
Ben Kingsley made an appearance.
Which was fun.
As ridiculous as he was in
Iron Man 3.
Yeah, I would, and probably the only other thing that like I was like kind of like, yeah, man, I wish they would have done this, but it wasn't a deal breaker for me or anything. Was the 10 rings themselves, which they turned into like bracelets rather than rings. But they were cool. They were an awesome weapon that was being used in crazy ways. But it wasn't how it was in the comic. Like the rings in the comic are so cool because each one does something. They have their own little unique powers. Like one shoots like ice, one shoots fire, one shoots lightning, one shoots darkness. One does all sorts. Like each one did its own little thing. And I wish that was in there because that would have made him even more powerful and more ominous and threatening rather than just something that he would just flail people to death with.
I mean, it's still
good. It's still good. It's a different
that
interpretation.
And I think that the scenes where like the Tony Leung character is using them and fighting are just spectacularly done. And I want to also say, if you had told me 10 years ago that Tony Leung would be part of the MCU, I would have been like, what in the hell are you talking about? But it all works. It all works. It's not a bad thing to be in a Marvel movie. I think it's great. And rock on to everyone involved in this production. Scale of 1 to 10, G, what would you give this movie?
I think I'd give it like an 8.
An 8. Okay.
Pretty good.
What do you?
I give it a 7.
A 7?
7's good.
7's like a C.
7's like a C.
No, it's
Yeah,
not.
Yeah, it is.
Average, okay, good. 5 is average. 6 is okay. 7 is good. 8 is great. 9 is excellent. 10 is perfect, which doesn't exist.
Whatever.
Does not exist.
What about
Shut
you?
your mouth, Dad.
Yeah, you tell him. Olive G, what would you give this movie? 1 to 10.
8.5.
8.5. That makes more sense. I'm going to go. I was going to give this movie an 8, but you know what? I'm going to give it an 8.5. This movie came together very nicely. It wasn't perfect, but I think it's gorgeous. The story flows pretty well for a long movie. It's not a short film, so I think the pacing on this is really good. They had to do a lot of world building, but it still didn't interfere with your enjoyment of what's going on. I do agree with your critique about there should have been more of a spotlight on the Shang-Chi character himself. They could have done without like him going to Awkwafina's house and meeting her or seeing her family and that whole exchange, and maybe focused a little bit more on him.
That didn't bother me. It showed that he was a nice guy.
It didn't bother me, but I think also the focus should have been on him.
Yeah.
And creating his backstory. So did you? Okay, we all gave our numbers, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we are going to wrap it up, and we bid you all a good night. And if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. It's premiering as of today on Disney Plus. Good night.
Good night.
All right.